All right. Hello. Let's make sure everybody's audio is kicking. Can you all hear us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, they're so quiet. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Unmute Gary, though.
Oh, Gary, you muted still? No.
I'm up.
He's good. All right. We can hear everybody now. Cool. All right. Well,
Like Brandon's got
welcome.
competition.
I know. I saw
What is that,
Brandon
dude?
with
Really?
I saw Brandon. I was like, oh, I gotta give me some of those. Those are so sweet. Yeah, it's the deal with it glasses.
Wicked cool.
Those are some
Right.
pretty cool glasses.
Yeah, you like that?
It's like the
Copying
meme
glasses.
Brandon.
They're really heavy. I know. I'm copying Brandon. I give him credit.
glasses.
Deal with it.
Cool enough to be here anymore. I don't have a cool pair of shades like that.
We all got up our
We're
game
moving
now.
up. You know,
Yep.
we have some goals we got to hit this year from
We do.
the over and unders. So 6,000.
I know. Yes.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
All right, so let's kick off the intros. Welcome everyone to our live Into the Nexus. We haven't had one of these in a while.
That's not true. We had one like earlier this month.
Was it this month? This
Yeah.
is February.
Oh, I mean earlier last month.
Well, it's been
That
weeks.
was December.
Several weeks.
It's been December actually.
Oh, is this our first one of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
gosh, where have I been? It feels like we've been through a whole year already.
That it's been So it's been
It's been a month.
a little while since we had one of these. It's glad to get everyone back. We have a new guest today who finally got her equipment, is able to join us.
Yay.
Which is great. And Vanessa, let's just go around. We'll start here. We'll just jump around the table. So I'm Anthony from Ant Lab Games,
Yeah, Francis.
and we'll go around the table. So Vanessa, introduce yourself to everybody.
I am Vanessa. I am a board game enthusiast, obviously. I've been here. I've been in the hobby since 2017. I belong to a local gaming group, Western PA Gaming. I am an assistant organizer on there, though I don't really do much but show up and play games. And I am basically friends with everybody here. And that's it.
That's great. Yeah, we met Vanessa for the first time at the AAG retreat, but she is a very active member of their Discord. So we chatted with her for a long time, and then finally got
Yes,
to meet her.
I'm very active. I'm friends with Brandon Lexi. We live in roughly the same area, so I'm on there constantly, and I'm very, very chatty.
Yeah, and we got along so well with her, and she's got a tremendous amount of knowledge of games. She does a ton of gaming, so it's like it only makes sense to get real gamers on this panel, because that's what we're talking about.
Nice. Real game.
All right. Yeah. And Allie, welcome back.
Yep. I'm Allie, and I'm from the family Meeple. You can find me typically on Instagram, Facebook, and sometimes on YouTube, although I've been a little bit lax on that just with life getting busy, but I'm on there too.
Awesome. Matt.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I have I'm an indie board game publishing company called MB Born Games, and I make tiny games, and I also play games too. So
Tiny games that pack a punch.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And the Fetty Gator. There you
I
go.
don't make games, but I do make games for this show, and that's about really all I got the talent to do. Yeah, I'm ready to get this started. It's 2024. I'm really hoping this is a solid year of gaming. We shall see. I was a little disappointed in 2023. We'll talk about that later. But, I think there's some pretty good games up on the horizon, which we'll be talking about tonight. So some that I'm pretty pumped about. So we'll see.
Yep. And Gary's got a pretty exciting little game for us to play later.
It is going to be exciting. I'm going to need some participation from the chat. I have some, we'll get to it when we get to it, but even people that watch this later, you'll be able to participate. So hopefully that all works out. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Cool. So up until then, I guess our next topic we'll talk about is, I guess we could all kind of just go around and talk about something we've played recently that kind of stood out so far this year, and something else that you're waiting to see later this year that you're excited about. Board game wise. I'll be clear.
Yeah, don't leave that up to interpretation. You can't trust Gary.
Yes, I can't trust Gary one bit. So we'll definitely not. Well, not started off. We didn't. We even though it's still early in the year, we've only played a handful of games only because we've been not only busy, but we got sick last week. Both got the COVID.
Yeah.
So that it pretty much knocked us out for the entire week. So we were just couldn't do anything. Kids were home, so it was just a.
Well, then our youngest had strep.
Yeah, we were supposed to go to
shout out to Level Up.
Yeah, Level Up retreat
because
over this
we were
past
supposed
weekend.
to be there, and I know a lot of you were excited about seeing us.
Yeah, it was in Newark, New Jersey.
Cancel, yeah, it's like right around the corner from us.
An hour from us, like just over an hour drive up the turnpike. So it was like this is perfect. This is like a day trip, each day. And then it was Friday, and I had already taken off. So then on Thursday I tested. Wednesday I took a test for COVID, and I was clear. I was like, all right, I must just have like cold. I had a fever again the second night. I'm like, I got to test one more time. And then I was like, bam, positive hard. And then she took it and she was positive too.
Better. And I was like,
yeah. And then I was just like, well, we're not doing anything this for the next like 4 days. So I guess we're stuck. So that was our exciting weekend.
Is that the Board Game Con?
Yeah, that's that's like Alex and Board Game Co. put together. He did one last summer, which we attended. But it was in Connecticut. It's like the other side of New York City. And so this time they moved it down to a hotel like in New Jersey, on the Jersey side,
right in Newark,
which is like super close for us.
Which is not bad. It's not a bad drive for us. It's just straight turnpike. So it would have been really convenient because Connecticut was tough. We had to go around the city, and it was just like, because once you get by New York.
But it was good. It was. We think we've been like we've been enjoying those more. That they're just like, let's go and play games.
Yeah, the small cons
versus like the cons that are like for us are kind of more business. You don't get to like actually sit and play too much. So
we'll talk about some games we've played.
Yeah.
After, but we'll go around the circle. We'll continue the order we did before. So hey, Vanessa, why don't you tell us what have you played so far this year that stood out that was new, and then what are you looking forward to?
It has to be new.
Yeah, just what stood out.
I've played a good bit of stuff since the beginning of the year. I'm trying to think. Recently, I have played. Actually, it was last week. I got to play Holotype, which is a dinosaur-themed game. But instead of it being Dinosaur Island or Dinogenics, where you're creating dinosaurs, it's basically Jurassic Park, the game. Essentially.
What was it called?
Holotype. So what it is, instead of basically Jurassic Park, the game, you are archaeologists and you're basically publishing research. So it's worker placement, like resource management. So you're collecting stuff. And then you're basically, they call them holotypes. It's a scientific term, and I'm not entirely sure what it means. I'm assuming it means something that's like not in existence anymore. And it has like a little profile card. So what you're doing is you're collecting resources. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. So you're collecting resources and you basically are spending them to play these cards. And there's objectives that are out. So it's like race objectives. So it's like the first person to have a certain amount of these types of dinosaurs, you can spend a specific resource. And instead of putting out a dinosaur, you can put a chip on these goals. And then it's got like, you have your own little personal board where you put your different types of resources. And for every chip that you take off, you get more points for that. So yeah, it's not real heavy. It's probably like more like medium light, which is typically my sweet spot for games. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was fun and it was interesting. It was one of those ones where I've been wanting to try it for a while. And one of the guys at our gaming day had it, and I was like, wow, those are fancy. Those definitely were not.
Those were fancy.
I was like, wow.
That's basically the game.
There's no minis.
Components.
You got cubes. Okay. It's not super fancy. I wouldn't say it's, the artwork isn't wowing. It's more, it kind of reminds you like you're looking at a textbook of sort of like research. You're looking at research and you have like 3 different workers. You have the paleontologist, you have a technician or for whatever it's called. And then eventually you get a grad worker at a certain point. So the rounds, that's another thing. The rounds are indicated by however many holotypes that people publish. So the more it keeps going along the track, and it's like once 32 are out throughout the game ends, and then you just, you know, record your points. But it's interesting because the two workers, the archaeologist and the it's a grad student that you get, they can go to certain spots where they'll give you more resources when you go there. If you could use your little technician or whatever the heck they call them to go anywhere, but you might not get as much stuff. And then people can bump you off of spots. So you're like, oh, I'm going to have to rest. But then somebody bumps you off a worker and you're like, oh, cool. Now I can go again. Thanks. So it's pretty fun. I mean, like I said, it's not compared to some of the games and artwork that we see nowadays, it's not like crazy. It's not ugly, but yeah, it definitely has more of a Kickstarter look. But I thought it was a good game. I thought it was like, it's lighter than Dinosaur Island for sure. And a little bit lighter than, I played Dinogenics once and I did really like that game, but I think it's a little bit lighter than Dinogenics too. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did you say that was a prototype, or that's a game that's out now?
It's out now. It was a Kickstarter.
It was a Kickstarter.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter, but it's out now. I said the artwork kind of looks, the board's not like exciting looking. It has a little bit of a prototype-y look, but it's still, I mean, it was a pretty decent game. I enjoyed it. And, you know, it might be one of those ones I'm like, if I could find it cheap somewhere, I might pick it up. But, you know, yeah, I liked it. It was neat.
Cool. So what are you looking forward to coming out this year?
Probably I have 3 Kickstarters that should be coming in the near future. When exactly, I can't remember, but one of them is Stone Spine Architects. I was I was lucky enough, Brandon had a prototype of that one, and I was lucky enough to play it, and it was really fun. It was just, you're laying down, you're building a dungeon, you're trying to connect things and have a certain amount of creatures and monsters and traps to get points. And I like that. I like the role player universe anyway. I have role player. I had role player adventures. Role player is one of my favorite games. So I was like, okay, this seems kind of cool. I haven't been with Brandon Broad. I played. I was like, oh, this was really fun. I really liked it. And it's really light. It's drafting. You can always play with anybody, but you're probably one of the hardest things is you want to get your dungeon to have like one big giant path from start to finish. You get extra points for that. Then there's those cards there, and those are other objectives that you can try to get to. And yeah, it was a cool game. So I'm looking forward to that.
A small box game, it was really
cool. I can't wait to. I got the plushie too. I got Horn Gully.
We did.
Yeah, it's the Minotaur on the front cover.
We also did. Yes, we have the plushie. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, didn't your daughter was like, he's my doll.
He's the bull. Yeah,
she was sick this week, right? She's sick, and she knows she's not allowed to touch our plushies. Like she's got her own 9,000 plushies. But she was sick this week. And so she's like, she's like all fever. She's like, but I want Daddy's cow. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's talking about it's her. She's
and the cat. She took our
Nemesis
Awakened Realms and Nemesis cats plushie. She's got all of
so yeah, that's one I'm looking forward to. Another one is Forges of Ravenshire. I'm looking forward to that one too. I had a
Fortress of Ravenshire.
No, Forges of Ravenshire.
Forges
you are anthropomorphic critters basically making weapons for people. And it's a dice drafting worker placement game. And it's got that same mechanic that's in Raiders of the North Sea, where you place a die, you get whatever's there, and then you take one from the board, and you also get to do that. So I played that also in prototype form. I think Brandon had it, but I did not play with him. There's a friend of mine that comes to games, and he had it. And
BA Games, right?
Wait, what?
The publisher is at BA Games, right?
I think so. Yeah, it's a brother.
BA Games,
yeah. They have a goat, I think, for their. It's a very small company. It's just 2 brothers. And this is like a passion project of theirs, and it was a fun
did
game.
Play that.
You sure?
We played this in prototype form. I want to say at PAX. Remember?
We did play this at PAX. They demoed it, the prototype for us. Yeah, they were really cool, actually.
You got to meet the two brothers that were there.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It was a cool game. And I'm like, you know what? It's a small project. It's literally two brothers. It's a passion project. I was like, I don't have a problem backing a game like that because
it was good. It was really good.
It was actually good.
It's not Simon.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was a cool game. I loved the dice drafting. And then you also you get stuff and then it starts to build like a little engine. So I can't remember all of it, how it goes, because it's been a while since I played it. But you draft the things and then you can like improve. You can improve the amount of resources that you get, and you build a little engine with those tiles that you can draft. And it was a lot of fun. I liked it.
No, it was really good. I unfortunately it was a prototype, so you really couldn't see like what it would be like in this.
Right. I mean, I played the prototype too.
This was one, I think when we demoed it, we probably played a round or two or maybe three. But I remember leaving the table, telling them like, I already know I like this game. Like
I got to play it. So I got to play a whole game of it. So that was it was like a little bit. It was like over an hour, but that was with the teach and just getting. It wasn't super long.
It's lighter. Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah,
typically if it's like, I like it, it's going to be a little bit lighter because I don't typically play the heavy stuff. And then one more game I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward to an expansion, a couple expansions, but I don't know if you wanted me to talk about expansions or not.
No, that's fine.
Okay. So, it is funny because these are pretty much the games that I'm looking for, all Kickstarters. And then I have a couple expansions that I'm looking forward to as well. One just came out like last week, got announced, but I'll get to that. I'll finish up the last game. And the last game I'm looking forward to is from Bad Comet. They did Wild Serengeti, Life Amazonia, and the next Shaolia, I think is the other one. They did those before the animal games. And then they're coming out with Wondrous Creatures, which is the components in this game are just like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. So it's like you got these basically mythological creatures and they're a worker, but then you can take meeples and put them on top of these animals and they ride around. I'm assuming you probably get more like better actions or whatever. And I was just like, oh yeah, I'm backing this. And I think it's worker placement, but it's just like this company knows how to make fantastic meeples. They just do. I mean,
what is that thing riding?
They're fantasy creatures.
Alligator.
Is that a Gila monster?
Scary. I don't know. It looks like an armadillo, actually, a giant armadillo. But there's one in there that looks like I think there's an owlbear in the game. It was one of the special ones you got if you backed the Kickstarter. Like they look funny standing there.
Meeples,
They do.
Like
Then you put them on
that's what I was about to say.
So they look funny. They do look funny when they're just standing there, but it's like, it's so they ride on the critters that are in there. That looks like an armadillo with a scorpion tail. Like they're very weird creatures, but I love that. That looks like, I'm not gonna lie, that Meeple looked like Zangief from Street Fighter.
He kind of does, yeah. Yeah, he does. He
totally looks like Zangief.
Which is funny because we just
remembered his name.
Wreck-It Ralph 2, where Zangief is in therapy.
That's right, he was in there.
It's like, I'm a bad guy, but I'm not a bad guy.
So they ride on it. That one kind of looks like a dinosaur, but it looked really cool. And I was like, it was a little bit of an impulse buy, but I was like, that's it, no more. And honestly, I haven't backed. That was the 3 things I backed last year. I probably will back even less this year because I'm like, I don't have the room. So
that's a common saying.
I know. It's like I have like 2 small shelves. You know, I'm limited on space. But then expansions, they just announced an expansion for Shuffle. So I'm like, oh yay, because I love that game. I know it's hyped, and some people are like, it's okay. I know Luke Hector wasn't a fan of it, but he's wrong. So yeah, as much as I love Luke, I'm like, I'm sorry. Everybody I know loves this game. It's just this crazy little drafting, and you're just making one huge tableau that's just basically points at the end of the game with a little couple cards here and there that are engine building. It's just, like I said, it's a game right up my alley. I love engine building. I love tableau building. I love the theme because it's nature. Again, I mean, literally the basis of your tableau are trees. Like, how can I not love that? And the artwork's really pretty too. Like, I don't know who did the art. It's not like Andrew Bosley or Beth Sobel or any of them, but it's really, really pretty. And they just announced it last week, and I'm probably just more cards, but I'm like, yay, more cards for it. So there's that. And then the last one is, fingers crossed, I hope I'm going to finally get fall flavors for Honey Buzz. It's only been delayed 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a nightmare. Typical, yeah. Typical, oh, great, here we go. Kickstarter, dumpster fire, where they had so many production issues. And I don't know if it was so much money issue. It's more of they were just having really bad problems with the manufacturer just screwed up components. And at one point they were like, oh yeah, now the shipping costs are more. Hey, can you donate money to us? I'm like, no, I already paid for the game. Just give me the game, please. Like, that's all I want. What? And now I'm like, they say, well, we should be in. And I'm like, I really hope so. But at least this is the only Kickstarter I've ever had. If all the ones I've had, I mean, I haven't backed like.
Yeah, right.
You didn't back Chai Tea for 2?
No, I didn't. I had a friend. I know that. What a nightmare. This hasn't been that bad. At least they are trying to communicate. I forget who is in charge of Elf Creek, but once in a while he'll come in, and got a little iffy, and he's like, yeah, we had to like lay off some people. I'm like, oh great. I don't think I'm ever getting this expansion. But we'll see.
It's getting to the point where like Kickstarter updates are like, oh no, an update.
It's like,
what's the bad news?
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh great, another setback. It's like, oh, wonderful, yay. But I know the last one he did, I think, was like a month ago, and it was a little bit more positive. He insists that the game is going to come. So, well, at least it's just an expansion. It's not, the mythic debacle with, hell, whatever that game's called. And it's just hundreds of dollars. And it's like, yeah, you paid $400, and now people are going to get like a $50 worth of a game. It's like,
and they get to pay shipping again.
Oh yeah, that's like, yeah, hopefully. Wow. Yeah, I got off lucky, especially if this is the only Kickstarter I've had an issue with is this one. Everything else I've gotten without, even from small companies, anything I've backed, I've had no problems with. So I consider myself lucky that I've just had this, and that's it. So that's pretty much it.
Very good.
We'll give the floor to somebody else.
No, that's a good bunch of games, and a lot of which I never heard of. So
yeah, and a few
that's pretty typical. Yeah, that's pretty typical with me. I like lighter kind of obscure games.
That's the value in it, because it's hearing of the games that I've never heard of. That's what Gary's good with that too, because he always pulls these war games.
He likes.
I got a couple. Yeah,
I'm sure you did. Yeah.
The only games I'm anticipating this year are Matt games.
Oh, there you go. We'll just focus on Envy Board.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Allie. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. So games I've been playing, I finished up my 10x5 solo challenge from last year in January. Got through December and knew I was not going to finish it on time, and decided that I would just give myself an extra month, because the point of the challenge is to play the games, not to meet like an arbitrary deadline that I set for myself. So I finished up those plays in January. That was most of what I was playing. And then we went to Tantrum Con at the end of the month with my daughters and my mom. Ran into Matt there as well. That was pretty fun. We actually only went for Thursday and Friday, so we only played, I think, 7 total games while we were there, because my kids are always doing fun stuff, painting minis and creating their own board games and that kind of thing. But the one that really stood out to me that I got to play that was new to me was After Us from Pandasaurus. And
you played that.
I think that was a 2023 game, maybe. I think it came out last year. And it kind of got a lot of buzz to start out with, mainly think because it had like the Vincent Dutrait artwork and the theme was pretty fun. And then it sort of just died away and people seemed to be a little bit kind of lukewarm on it. So I didn't really know what to expect, but we pulled it out. It was pretty easy to learn. We learned it from the rule book, played it 2 players. It's all simultaneous play for the game, so it plays pretty quickly. And it basically, like if you've played like Wayfarers of the South Tigris, that little part of like the water side where you match up the different like banners on the side of the cards, that's pretty much the whole game for After Us. It's just this like one little piece from Wayfarers. And so you have these ape cards that you have to match up. And if you complete the frames where they match in your, like, I don't remember what they call it, like a society or something, but you match up those frames. No, it's something weird.
Okay. I just thought because usually groups of like primates, they call them troops, like a chimpanzee or gorilla troop.
No, it's not that.
Okay.
But it's something. So you match up these little frames. There's kind of a good picture of it there. And if the frame is closed, then you get that thing. So like the top row is basically all you're getting resources.
Oh, okay.
And then the bottom 2 rows are converting resources into points primarily, or other like special actions, being able to redo something or gain rage if you have gorillas in your set. And so you're basically racing to get to 80 points. And then whoever gets to 80 points, that triggers the end of the game during that phase of that round. And then if you can get past them, then you'd win. But otherwise, the person who triggered it at 80 would win. And it's just super simple, really straightforward. Like I said, I didn't really know what to think going into it because of all of the sort of lukewarm reception to it. But we really had a fun time with it, and it's on Board Game Arena, so I've been playing it a bunch there now as well. Cool. So it's one that I was really impressed by, was After Us. So that was one.
Sounds like they're calling it a tribe of apes. Is that what they call it?
Maybe. I don't remember. It's some weird word that I can't think of right now that's in the rule book. But you basically have 4, and then you could rearrange them any way that you want to. And then there's a little bit of like deck building in it. So you're buying new ape cards that have better abilities on them. And then you can actually use the rage that you have from your gorillas to get rid of your like starter cards. And so you can have better cards cycling through. And one of the nice things is when you buy a card, it goes on the top of your deck. So it's the first thing that you play the next turn. So you're always getting to play the cards that you're buying. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So that was a good one. Cool. Been liking that on, like I said, Board Game Arena. And then I've gotten a whole bunch of new games in from Tantrum Con. We came home with a whole stack of things. And so we haven't actually played really any of those yet. But for 2024 games, we picked up French Quarter from 25th Century, which is the newest in the line of like Three Sisters and there's like 2 other in that line of roll and write games.
Motor City.
Motor City and
Motor City was one.
Fleet.
It should be Fleet the Dice Game was the very first one.
I love Fleet.
Yeah.
I do too.
Oh, yeah.
That's like
one
of the only roll and writes that I actually enjoy playing is Fleet the Dice Game.
It's such a good one.
Yeah, Fleet's good.
So I haven't played that one.
They did the Three
Sisters.
Three Sisters.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah.
Fleet's better.
I thought that one was complicated. I was like, what is going on?
Just
I'm like,
too much
no,
going
this is
on.
too much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I picked up Three Sisters and I picked up French Quarter. So I've got those. But French Quarter is the one that's the 2024 game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really have sort of stopped backing on Kickstarter. So I have basically 2 that are outstanding that should be coming this year. One is, I think, supposed to be delivering either this month or next month. They've already delivered for rest of the world. The US ones were just kind of on the slow boat from China. But they should be arriving anytime now, and then they'll get those shipped out. Is Tir na Nog from Grand Gamers Guild, I think.
Oh, I remember you talking about
Who
this
did it?
game. That looked cool, actually.
Yeah. So it's tableau building and cards. So it looks really fun. I'm excited to get that one in. Yeah. So that one's coming. And then I have the new English edition of La Familia Hort coming with that one, which is a French game that they republished with Tir na Nog. So I have those two coming. And then I have the new expansion, the characters expansion for Obsession. That's pre-ordered.
How many families are there? What do you mean characters expansion? Is it more families or
a couple more characters?
I don't think it has any more families. I think it just comes with a lot more like gentry cards.
And gentry cards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's got new
I don't think
gentry
there's any more
cards.
families.
New tiles. So they had some guest designers come in and do some new like event tiles where they're a little bit more interactive with the other players. So that'll be interesting.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
So you can like go and use somebody else's tiles, and then they get reputation bumps if you go and use their tiles. And
so you could have events at somebody else's,
like rent somebody else's space, basically.
Yeah. You basically put on their event.
Oh, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and it comes with metal
I'll
coins.
be crashing your party, Ant.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't join in. I can't join in on the obsession because I still have yet to play it.
You've not played it yet.
Like
that's how
I want
Brandon
to play
was.
it. It's just I haven't. It's like every time I have a chance, I'm playing something else. It was like at AAG Con, but I was in something else, and it just didn't happen.
And play the hard copy.
2 turns in when he was like,
2 turns in, Brandon was
like, I'm buying this game. I love it.
That's what he said. He got to play it, and I was like, I have people, there's people come to our game days that they have the game. I just haven't gotten a chance to play it, and they played it recently, and it was just like, I feel like I'm not going to play it.
It just gets more fun the more you play it because you get more used to the strategy and you start having more fun with it and more efficient with it.
Is it fun?
It's a good game. Yeah,
I played it on BGA once, and I just had no idea what was happening.
That's
everything for me, and I was just like, I guess I'll move this here, and then the computer's like, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh no, half the fun is like it's just managing your gentry and throwing the biggest event you can for that round, and
I gotta play the hard copy.
Yeah, you really,
it's much just better in person.
I figure one of these days I'll get a chance. If all else fails, I will make it the first game I play at AAG Con.
You definitely need to do that. Well, I'm telling you, we'll bring ours, and we'll play ours.
We'll make a date. I don't care if I have to get up at like 8 a.m. We'll be like, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it now because it's like I feel like I need to play this game. Hopefully, I like it.
We'll definitely
do it. You will.
Yeah.
Next time you're down here, Vanessa, you can just come play mine. We'll play.
That's true. We can do 2-player, and you can destroy me.
It depends. There's so much luck in that game that you can
there is.
You can get gentry cards that don't work very well, or not be able to get the events that
the tiles come out in the right order for you, and then you see exactly what they want, and you're like, oh, okay, I sniped all of this tile, and now you'll get the Fairchilds, and then you'll start out of the gate hard the next rounds. Like there's some advantages if you're smart, or you can just buy up all the one type of servant, and then the other player has to. The other player can't do those events now. Yeah, it's there's some strong strategy if you want to be tough against the other player. We don't do that though.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And there's so many different like variants that you can play with too to make it the way you want the game to play. So, and it's supposed to all fit in the base box. So during the Kickstarter, he showed how all of the new content will fit in the base box, which I always appreciate because I'm pretty much down on shelf space. So
the base
that's
box
what I'm looking forward to.
The 2 expansions as it is.
Oh no, I've got everything in there.
Oh, you can get everything in, but it's not going to close flat.
Oh, mine closes flat.
I'd like to see that.
I'll take
Make a
pictures.
video.
I'll do an unboxing. Yeah.
We'll do an
Make a
unboxing
video.
and reboxing on the next
Yeah.
into the next
There you
one.
go.
I want to see this.
Yeah. I'll rebox it for you.
All right.
Yeah, and then the last one for 2024 is I'm a big fan of Pencil First Games. I love all of their nature themed games. They're, little card games,
Edo, right?
lots of fun. Yeah, Edo. And
Barash.
he's got a
Floriferous.
herbaceous
Yeah, herbaceous.
sprouts.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
played
all of
Floriferous
those.
together. I like that one.
Mhm. And they've got 2 new coming out on a Kickstarter, I think like this week or next week, called Sunrise at the Studio and Snowfall Over Mountains.
Sunrise at the
So I
studio. Is
would
that
love-
like
Yes, I
sunrise
heard
over,
about Snowfall
over sunset?
Mountains.
Was it one?
Sunset over water.
Sunset over
is
water.
like the
Yeah.
snowflakes or whatever.
Was it like that?
Yeah.
Sunset Over Water is one of theirs, so I'm sure that's like
Yeah.
where it's coming from with the
It looks
naming.
really pretty.
Yep. And the Snowfall Over Mountains looks like it's a tile placement game, which would be new for them.
Okay.
So that looks really fun. So I'll
Okay.
take a look at those. They're usually reasonably priced. And, even though
Oh,
he's
yeah,
launching a
yeah.
Kickstarter now, it likely will come out this year because he
Yeah.
usually has
Oh, that's
everything
good.
lined up and ready to go.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Oh,
So-
let me share that real quick. Yeah, we
Yeah.
like we've always liked that. He's always
Good
been
people.
good. Yeah, he's good people.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
It's pretty.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I might have to get this one.
I can't buy
Yeah.
any more Kickstarters.
Well, here's
Yeah.
my philosophy. If it's in a little box, I'm more likely to buy it because it's like, oh, it's a little box.
And they're small.
They're just
they're
big.
like-
I mean, Sunset Over
They're about
Water,
like
I have
this.
it, is like this big. It's not,
Yeah.
I have it.
That's like, yes.
That's like this is what I do, guys. Like this is exactly what I do.
You don't
I can
say.
stack it so much easier. It's like I can fit it
It's like-
here and
Small
Top
box
shelf.
Maddie.
yeah. See, like small games, they're easier to buy for me because I can make them fit easier than
Yeah,
a
that's
normal size box.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're great.
And I think they're
Yeah.
doing pocket version of Floriferous also with that Kickstarter.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
I might have to
Yeah.
check that one. I really liked
Mhm.
that. We played that when I visited Allie during the summer, and we got to play that one, and I really liked it. I beat her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beginner's luck, but it was just such a pretty game, and it's nice. It's very typical Pencil First. It's just a nice, lightweight, very relaxing. It's just
Yep.
it's really really pretty. I
Yep.
love pretty games. What can I say?
All right. Thank you, Allie. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Vet.
Gare.
My turn.
Those
All right.
glasses are unbelievable.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah. Get ready. So those of you who aren't interested in war games, you can take
Taking
a
into
you
your
can take a 10,
nose.
15 minute hiatus.
No, now everybody's paying attention.
Yeah.
Like, look at this dork.
That's as cool as I have to say.
Don't be jelly. Don't be hating. All right. Anyways, what have I been playing? Let's see. Julie and I played that Lord of the Rings, the Cosmos game.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Adventure to Mount Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's like uber lucky, right?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
dice
yeah.
chucker. Finally,
Yeah,
after the
basically.
third time, we finally beat that sucker. It was pretty funny. I didn't think it was like the first 2 times, like we haven't got halfway and we're dead, but that was pretty fun. I actually enjoyed that. But that's one of those games, like once you beat it, I don't want to play it anymore. Right.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite games, probably my number one favorite all-time board game experience was at a small local con here, and a group of us were playing Black Orchestra.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know that.
and
game.
where you're trying to kill Hitler based off it's Philip Dubarry game, and it's fantastic. It is uber thematic. Anyways, we had to roll a certain roll, and we figured out the odds were like 3.3%. I mean, it's like Leroy Jenkins type of stuff, and we rolled that on the last roll, and it was just we went nuts. It was crazy. I mean, a whole con's looking at us, but that's kind of like what that Lord of the Rings is like.
Those are great moments.
Awesome moments,
You're
and
just like, it's like
It's also like that
the game.
Legends of Andor. That was a really fun game.
yeah,
When you beat that game, it's like a puzzle, like a tough
Yeah, you're
puzzle.
kinda
But
done.
once you kind of muck through it and you win it, you're like, I'm never playing this again because
I'm out.
it's
going
gonna
on
be frustration. Yeah. I get it.
Two other quick ones I've been playing because yes, I have gotten into some wargaming. Now, not like a lot of the. Well, I mean, some of these are just more solo because I don't have anybody around here. I know I would play a war game like the actual like the hexes and all that sort of stuff. But I did play more of Skies Above Britain and played a couple campaigns of that, and it was super fun. Especially with like I don't know if y'all watch like Band of Brothers when that came out, but now the new Masters.
I did. I love that one. Yeah.
Okay, did you see where the new one came out on Apple TV, Masters of the Air? It's about the bloody 100th, and that just they're like 3 episodes in, and it's awesome. And so
is that good?
It's amazing. Yeah, it's very very good. But you know, it's kind of like Skies Above Britain, except that's more Battle of Britain. So it's you're flying Hurricanes and Spitfires going up against Messerschmitts and the Germans coming bombing, and it's super fun. I really loved it. And the other one I actually just got recently. It's a solo only. It's called Manila, The Savage Streets in 1945. Now, this guy did a game about a year and a half ago called Stalingrad: Advance on the Volga.
Oh,
okay, and it's super popular. It's a very hard solitaire, but that's Germans going into Stalingrad against the Nazis or the Soviets. This one is about at the end of the war when the U.S. were going into Manila to take over Manila, and they have to clear out the Japanese. So I've actually played that a couple of times this weekend. It's hard. I haven't beat it, but it doesn't play very long. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. Oh, and I also got this. I totally forgot I'd back this. I haven't even played the original. so this is
another table game.
Did that cost you about $275 for that?
It cost me $580. $600 from Queen Games.
I mean, it's Queens. It's like 80% up market. Yeah.
I'm trying not to breathe on it. It actually will disintegrate if I breathe on
it.
I'm not
probably no insert in there either.
Very gently right here. Okay, great. But yeah, so those are some of the things I've got going on. I still have Distant Skies here. I haven't even got out of the shrink. So I don't even know if I'm going to play it. I got
Distant Skies. Is it Red Raven?
That's Sleeping Gods. Yeah. I thought I might want it, but I don't know. Anyways, a couple
trying to sell it.
What's that?
You've been trying to sell it already on our.
Yeah. If somebody wants it, I mean, I'll sell it to him. Just hit me up on in the Discord.
The people who want the game already have the game. That's how Red Raven fans.
Pretty much, yeah. So I don't know. I've tried to trade it and got a bunch of rejections. So I was like, all right, I'll just figure out. Who knows? If I don't sell it, maybe I'll just give it away. Maybe the Nexus giveaway. We'll see.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll take it if you're just giving it.
You have to enter the contest, Vanessa. Games I'm looking forward to. Like I already said, I am anticipating all Matt's games.
There you go.
Yeah, see, because we support each other here on this channel. And the other few games I am really looking forward to. So one just got. I've almost bought this a couple of times, but I didn't want the Brazilian version. That Comic Hunters, that was announced recently. That Arcade Wonders is going to take. That's that Marvel game.
Oh, okay.
Like you're trying to hunt down comics and
making like comic collections.
Yeah. So really looking forward to that.
That's cool. Yeah.
People are like stoked that it's coming to the US.
And it's the Marvel comics.
Right. They got licensing for Marvel. So you know how people go nuts for Marvel anything. I mean, it's gonna be in my gaming group for sure. We've got huge Marvel fans, and I got one friend, he's like a massive Marvel fan. So he'll have it. So I'll play it. I mean, I'm not really like in the comic books, but I'm like, what the heck? It's not real super heavy or anything. I'll give it a try. I might end up really liking it, even though it's like comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it comes out around Gen Con. I think that's the kind of plan, but we'll see.
That would make sense.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, look at those pieces. Those are awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be a game. If it comes out at Gen Con, people will be running for that one. And Gary probably will be one of those people.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to be pushing down kids and stuff out of my way.
I'll be the one shoving people against the wall
for 16 hours for Lorcana. So,
it's comic Lorcana.
That's going to be pretty cool. I get it.
Yeah, that's
it looks
gonna be
good. I will give it that. It's got some good artwork in it.
But I'm glad it's coming here because I mean, if it's a Brazilian version, you have to, there's Brazilian.
Translate everything.
I don't speak Portuguese, so
Portuguese. Actually, it's even more different than regular Portuguese.
Also looking forward to Ezra Nehemiah, which I think a lot of people already know about.
Mm-hmm.
But there are two games. There are two games that I want to bring to the forefront real quick. Okay, one is made by a war gamer. Actually, probably one of the most popular war gamers out there. So, we have the Rainer Knizia here in the hobby the hobby side. Over on the war game side, one of the names is Vokal Runke. I think that's his name. Vokal Runke. He's made a lot of big war games. Anyways, there's you've all heard of Fort Circle. They did Votes for Women, which is another huge. They also did Shores of Tripoli. Okay, so Vokal did a game. I guess he developed this a couple of years ago. Fort Circle, what they're doing is obviously trying to bring in faster, simpler, more fun themes, but they are war games. Votes for Women is a war game.
It's a war game.
It's a war game.
Essentially, yeah.
So now this one is come out to here. It's called Hunt for Blackbeard. I love it. I love pirates. It is a 2-player only, double blind, like hidden movement type game. And there's only 4 turns. And Blackbeard has his own player sheet or player mat. It's when he was trying to in early 1700s in trying to do some things around North Carolina. So you also have the British who are also trying to catch him. Then there's also a main mat. So there's player mat or a Blackbeard mat, a British mat, and then there's a main mat. So you only have 4 turns. Blackbeard's trying to also do some pirate things, but also trying to escape and get out of there, while the British side is trying to hunt him down and catch him. So I was looking at seeing like a little bit of a playthrough tonight, and I was like, obviously these are prototype pictures here, but it did look super fun, not difficult at all. I like heavy hidden movements when it's done well. And like we just recently had the hunt and that. This game, the way I look at it, 60 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
And just got that cool Blackbeard kind of pirate type of theme. So I'm really looking forward to that one. So we'll see when that one comes out. And then the other one, I can't believe especially Vanessa and Allie didn't talk about this one. Okay, I first heard about this game from a couple of people that went to Gamma last year. And everybody was saying, in fact, I was talking to David Waybright over at MVM, and this is like back in the summer. He's like, there is a game. Literally every publisher was wanting this game. He has ended up working with USAopoly, and that is Gnome Hollow.
That was on my list.
Oh, yeah.
This game, look, if it's as good as everybody is saying, it may be the game of the year. And when you go and you look at it and you hear the story behind it, it's spatial tile placement. You got worker placement. You're trying to build these circles of mushrooms, and the bigger they are, the more.
Oh, this one. No.
And by the way,
yes,
it looks good.
Your player thing, like your Anthony. Those are magnets. They have magnets, so your pieces don't move. That's brilliant.
Oh wow!
Finally, there's a market. It is a very easy game, but the strategy in this game looks awesome.
Yeah.
Once you create these circles, you could put up signposts that becomes like another worker placement spot.
That's cool.
Yeah, this game, by the way, he painted those tiles. Those are watercolors that he painted, and obviously then they.
Oh wow! And then they just like digitize them.
Because something, I don't know, he went through something, and this was something he did for therapeutic purposes, and he ended up creating this game. And but yeah, I think this is going to be a Gen Con release.
I could see that, yeah.
But I think this game is going to be an absolute. If it's as good as everybody's saying, it'll be a monster hit.
Yeah.
So he went with USAopoly. So
yeah,
I love that you brought it up.
Yeah, that's going to be. Have you seen it, Matt?
I mentioned it like the last 3 live streams.
Yeah, I was like,
I genuinely forgot about it.
The designer is like one of my best friends. I talked.
Oh, well, there you go. That's right.
And the game, I honestly think it'll be like game of the year. Like if they get a German publisher for it, I think it's a Spiel contender, like no doubt. But
that's awesome.
We'll have to see what happens. But
It's
exciting to see it all go down. But yeah, releases Gen Con, and Ammon will actually be there signing copies for people.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, he's like the nicest guy ever too. So
that's definitely a game I'd be interested in. I just completely forgot about it.
Am I correct in saying that he did some of the art, or those were water?
Yeah, he did. He water paints everything. So all of the art was water paint. Once the op took it, like they might have changed some things on their end, but he water paints stuff, and then he like scans it into the computers or something like that. So
yeah, this game looks killer.
Yeah, it's really good.
Very cool. Awesome.
My turn.
Yep. I always have more, but I'll let somebody else go. I'll let Maddie go.
So
it's not the Gary show.
I found out today I have strep, so that's been fun.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, that's what our daughter had.
Every time I get sick, it's strep. So I just walked in. I'm like, I have strep. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, just give me the strep antibiotics. I've been through this routine every year, but I feel all right. Anyways, not a big deal. But games I played were at Tantrum Con as well, where I met Allie. I saw Allie walk by. I'm like, I know her. And then the second time, I should say hi to her. But I played a game called Wine Cellar. And it is.
I see what they did there.
Yeah, it's going to be done by 20th Century Games, and the designer is Andrew Stills. I don't know how to actually pronounce. I think that's the correct way to pronounce it, but it's his first design. He's a buddy. He has like a podcast. He does stuff, and I always see him at conventions. So I'm excited he's getting his first designed game out there. And then also, it was fun. It was really fun. He sat down at my demo table and we played my game, and then I was like, you have yours? I want to play it. And then two people were walking by. I'm like, hey, you're playing this game with us. And they're like, well, we don't drink. And it's like, okay, it's okay. You're still gonna like the game's still a lot of fun. You don't have to be a wine drinker to enjoy it. Like it's just cardboard. You don't have to drink anything. But that was fun. And I would keep it. It's like there's a lot of room for like different expansions and stuff like that. But I feel like it's very like gateway-ish, so like a good entry, maybe bring some wine enthusiasts into the hobby or something, which I love the idea of the hobby growing, so I love games like that.
Yeah, I think 25th Century, that's like their bread and butter, is those family weight, entry level. You've never played anything. This game is going to have great components. It's going to be easy rule set to get into and still a lot of strategy. So we love their games. They
do a great job of that. And then I played one other game at Tantrum Con. I don't think anyone's heard of it, though. It's called Wormspan. My friend Ascadelia had a copy of it, so we played a 4-player game. And I've never actually even played Wingspan before. So they sat down and they all played it, and they're like, "Oh, you've played Wingspan before, right?" I'm like, "No," and they're like, "What? What do you mean?" And I was like, I haven't played it.
Like,
and then,
are you a board gamer?
Right.
Well, you're not missing anything, man. So.
Yeah. Well, the dragon theme speaks to me a little bit more. You know, I'm like, oh, dragons are cool, whatever. But I thought it was good. I liked it quite a bit. Everyone at the table were like, wow, this is way better. You know, there's a few things that are different. They're like, this is definitely better. And I was like, okay, well, I have no reason to ever play Wingspan then. This is better.
Not like you did before, though. So
yeah. And then I was like, what is this? Like a 2 or 2-1? They're like, no, this is like a 2.8 weight. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, okay, if you say so. That's what Game Geek says. I thought it was much lighter, but okay. And then games I'm looking forward to are obviously ones I'm launching, which are going to be, I got more tiny games coming out. I'm actually collabing and doing a game with Ammon, the designer of Gnome Hollow. So that's going to be a really fun thing. Cool. And I'm going to be like, from the designer of Gnome Hollow. But he's doing a tiny game for me. So that's going to be fun. And then this one, too, we're doing a Meerkat game. It's a big box game.
Oh, nice.
That's going to be a game?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's called
Meerkats. I was just going to ask about that. I'm like, is that like a painting or is that a game?
It's a game.
Called Meerkat Span.
It's called Kalahari.
They don't have wings, Gary. You can't. You just can't. They don't have wings.
Cat span.
Winged Meerkat span.
But
Kalahari, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's called Kalahari. I'm gonna launch it in the middle, like June-ish probably. So I'm just wrapping up some art stuff, and then I'm gonna start to promote it and all. But my next tiny game is called Confusing Lands, launching without a crowdfunding, just direct from my website. So I'm gonna see how that goes. But it's a tiny box game. Excited. But games that I'm excited for, you already spoke about Gnome Hollow. Obviously, I'm really excited. I've been kind of following his process for a long time, which has been cool. And then there's another one which it doesn't share like the same mechanisms as Obsession, but it shares that same theme. So I don't know if the theme speaks to you or if it's more of like the mechanisms, but there's a game, and I'm going to butcher the name here, but it's called Apothecary or something like that. It's APISTOCRACY.
That sounds like a very old English word.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't say it, but there's not really much on Board Game Geek yet about it, picture-wise. But the designer did have a spotlight at PAX Unplugged where she got to show it off. But I actually met her at BGG Con 2 years ago and played it when she was like really early with it. And I was like, what are you doing with this game? She's like, I'm probably going to like self-publish. I was like, oh, all right. But I was like, if you ever need help, let me know. So I'm happy to see her moving forward with that. But that game is a lot of fun. There's a worker placement element to it. And again, you're kind of hosting parties and stuff like that. And then at the end, there's a really cool trick-taking mechanism in the game as well that you kind of are building up towards. But yeah, if you like that theme, you'll definitely like it. But the game itself, I think, is really cool. And it just shares that theme with Obsession. So maybe some of you might like it.
Like that Victorian England.
Yeah, it's like apostocracy. I think it's probably
what you said.
Yeah, there's like no art outside of the game box.
There's nothing really up there yet. I'm gonna have to tell her you got to put some more stuff up on there. But
she had a website, I think, and that's it.
Okay,
cool.
But yeah, those are few of my games.
Excellent. All right, I guess we'll finish it up and then get to Gary's game.
Yes.
So what do we play?
Well, what have we played? If we've played it, it's on the channel where it's coming soon.
Yeah. So Salton Sea, we just put the video up.
Which was awesome.
Really good game.
Definitely recommend. And we also played Nucleum recently.
Or Nucleum, we enjoyed that one as well. Nucleum, the thing about Nucleum is it had a very what was a game that it feel like a lot? It was Brass.
Like a Brass Birmingham.
Because it's about routes and utilizing existing routes to bring fuel like coal or nuclear uranium to the plants in order to power the buildings. The whole
that you're also building
is you build a building,
and
then you power the building,
right?
And then, but you have to make sure you've got a route to the power plant that's already built, and then that plant has to have a route to the building.
But your action selection tiles are also your railroad tracks.
Yeah,
so you're giving them up as opposed to playing them. So it's got a lot of really cool mechanics.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Were not overdone, like not to an extent that they were fiddly.
But man, I had that game out on the table for like 2 to 3 weeks.
It was longer than that.
For maybe like a month, right? Before we got filmed it. And then when we finally filmed it, I went to put it away, and that thing was warped like I can't even tell it. Like I had to unbend it because the board wouldn't fold back down together.
That's board and dice, though.
Yeah, it was like warped.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
That's bad.
Yeah, I've never seen a game warped that bad, like ever. So I was just like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, which game was that? That was
like
Nucleum.
Oh, Nucleum. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think warped horrible. Salton Sea did not. That's a much smaller board.
That's beer, yeah.
Granted, the Nucleum board was huge and it wasn't as thick. So the Salton Sea board was much smaller because it's a lot of the offer is cards. But that one was really cool. That one's another energy game, but you're trying to drill in the Salton Sea to pull out geothermal energy. Or lithium.
Well, you're actually pulling out brine in order to make geothermal energy or to make lithium in a more eco-friendly way than it's currently mined, I guess. Not a scientist.
But man, you want to talk about one of the tightest economic games we've ever played. Like it was like you were just
especially for it too, because normally at 2 we don't get to play tight economy like that.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
The problem is like the cards you use for your actions, you have actions on your board you can just take, but they're unpowered, they're unbuffed. And your cards give you more powerful versions of those. So you can use your cards to put your workers on it to play them as an action, but your cards are also your money.
Yeah.
And the higher denomination of money cards are better, more powerful actions. So as you make sales, you get those really good action cards and you're like, man, I have all this money, but
it messes with your head.
If I use it as money, I'm throwing it back into the bank and I'm getting rid of it. Or I could use a really powerful $5 bill card to do a souped up version of this one action. And it's like, now you're broke again. And you're like, man, I just stole all that money and now I got to do this again. And so it's like, you're always broke. It's a tough game, but it was so good. So that was a really good, fun one.
What are you looking forward to 2024?
I have 3 games that I played.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I had one.
In my preparation. Why don't we do yours
I had
first?
a couple. Well, I know I see yours up here, so I know what we are looking at together. But I'll tell you the one that I'm looking forward to is
it one of my 3?
No, it's not one of your. It's one that we played at PAX and unfortunately couldn't get a hold of, and that is Pirates of Maracaibo.
Yes.
Because this thing was awesome. We like Maracaibo. It's actually one of Anthony's favorite games. I like it, but it's I don't say a racy game, but it's a race game.
There's a race mechanic.
Like I don't know. You're trying to like get there the fastest, kind of is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But in those types of games, especially where the path is fixed, I usually tend to stop like along the way and like
just to stop at every city, every
shop, gotta look in.
Yeah.
Exactly, the worst. So what was cool about Pirates of Maracaibo, it's not an expansion, it's a completely separate game, but you're using cards to create the pirating routes.
The islands,
so you're basically your islands and all of your sea is all created by this grid of cards that you're putting out. So as you're floating your little boats across, you can pick how like your own route. It's not predetermined. Based on what islands you want to go to and what bonuses you want to get, what resources you want to get, all of that kind of thing. And then you're bringing things that you get actually physically back to a pirate ship tableau, which is where you keep all your stuff. And as you're playing the game, you're updating your or upgrading your pirate ship. You're changing even like the masthead, which gives you a bonus. So over the course of 3 rounds, and those 3 rounds are simply getting boats from one end to the other,
to Maracaibo,
and then back again, you're just upgrading your ship and you're getting
burying treasure
on your island, and you're just getting this real satisfying feeling of like building something in your pirate little empire. But you're not getting bogged down by feeling like you need to play out this epic game because you're going so quickly across this grid of cards that you're really limited to just what do I need right now. So it really helps take away a lot of that paralysis and also makes the game a lot more playable because it's a grid of cards that comes out differently every single time. So I was really super excited about it. We played it with friends of ours down at PAX, loved it, and it's like stuck on that slow boat from China somewhere.
So it should be here soon.
It'll be here soon, but I'm definitely looking forward to it for 2024.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was. I mean, I guess you could just say
I liked it better than Maracaibo.
Yeah, it's a lighter version of Maracaibo, but it feels very similar.
It's definitely lighter. Yeah, no question about it.
Shorter.
But I felt it was more enjoyable.
Yeah, because it's because it's
different stuff.
It's less, right? Because Maracaibo, you could play a while. That game could be pretty long
in some ways, though, because you have your own ship that you're like upgrading.
Right, but the thing that it's missing is it doesn't have the immense amount of cards Maracaibo.
No, I mean that's true.
Those crew cards make that game. Like there are so many, and you're going through it, and you're spending half your turn going, man, which one do I want to get out of the board? You know, like I want to get out my tableau because they're so powerful.
Right.
Where you don't have that in this one. Like you're taking those cards, but it's more about set collection.
It's more about just do it quickly.
Yeah.
And get things done quickly. And but with that same kind of feel.
Yeah, and it doesn't have like those 1,000 ships on your ship that you got to start pulling off because you're like there's stacks of them and you're like, man, I got to keep pulling.
Right.
So the ship upgrades were a lot easier. Like it's definitely was a condensed down version, but it still felt like you played Maracaibo, right? Which is what was really cool about it.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was really good.
You got?
I did as well. So the games that I'm looking forward to, one of them is I never heard of this one before, but it's called Civolution.
Okay.
Oh, that's a Feld.
I've seen this.
Feld game.
Massive Feld game.
Yeah. So
Feld game.
I'm just a sucker for Civ games, and you know,
You're a sucker for a good rondelle.
If I'm a sucker for a good point salad.
Point salad.
So, but here we go. So, like, you know, like that looks like your standard crazy Civ game, right? Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of.
I know you love a Civ game.
And I was reading some of the things about it, and they were talking. Look at that! I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Can you guys see? I mean,
That's a periodic table.
Yeah, like you need a periodic table. Like,
this is going to be a massive table hog.
I know. See,
I
need
mean,
any game that has like a control panel for your player board is
that's pretty cool.
Has my vote, man. Like you just so, and based on what I was reading, it was like there's just like everything you do is just points. Like you're just getting points and points and points, and there's technologies and all that other. Love it.
When is that supposed to come out?
I don't know, but it can't come out soon enough.
Chat. No.
Yeah, if you know when that's coming out, because I really need that one. So like that's one. Like there's certain games that I'm like, you know, I don't really know. I can wait on it, and there's other ones where I'm like, I want that when it comes out, and
yeah,
that one is one. That's one of them. Like that's for sure. Yeah, there's no like. It says 2024, so I'm assuming could be any time.
Probably.
The second one is by one of Gary's favorite designers, David Thompson.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know what you're about to say.
So, because I do enjoy the Undaunted series, but I also like sci-fi. So when you kind of mix the two, you get something called Undaunted 2200 Callisto. And this is
smart of him.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing here that I can see, so I don't even know what to tell you. But
it looks
there's
awesome.
mechs and lasers.
A giant
and
robot
space.
with a laser gun.
So
mechs.
It's Undaunted with just sci-fi because you know a lot of people don't
like
the war stuff. So
they're kind of getting they're over World War II theme, right? Because it kind of gets after a while, you're like, all right, we've played that one. I would love for them to do. I don't even know if they've done it, like an Undaunted like Iraq war, right? I like to do that, like the Middle East war, like all the wars over there, like with current technology, like put the Abrams in there, put the A-10 Warthogs in there. Like let's do some like current day, like really see what the war games are like now versus all right, we're gonna do just rifles and M1s and like all right,
grenades.
More of the like those throwing grenades that they use, those weird ones. But it's like, all right, I want to see something more modern. Now they're skipping to 2200, which is cool, but I don't know. I liked Undaunted. I don't play it enough.
Yeah, I don't either.
But it was a fun game when we tried it, right? So, and my last one.
Yes.
And this is a no-brainer. Yeah. We all in this house are very big fans of the.
But my guess is this is coming to Kickstarter.
Of the Lacerda, yeah. This will come to Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which means it probably won't be out for another year. But
talk about it anyway.
Speakeasy, right? So this is a Lacerda game that covers the mob and the Prohibition era. Like, come on, look at that!
Nice.
Are you kidding me? Look at the meeples on here, little barrels, little
barrels.
trucks,
pretty cool.
Beer barrels.
Yeah, this looks like a map of New York, Manhattan, I guess, right?
Little moonshine.
Like, what is it? Speakeasy. I thought it was New Orleans, but maybe it is like. I guess that's more like jazz, right?
It's the jazz era. No, it's the 20s. I can just tell by the artwork.
Roaring 20s.
Yeah, it's like Roaring 20s. It's like Art Deco.
No, it is Manhattan.
It's New York. It's gangsters in New York they all ran basically the speakeasies and the booze.
During the Prohibition, I am in.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
So
super exciting.
Those are our games. Did you have any more?
No, those were mine.
Okay, and that's really it because I think anything else we have on the horizon we're going to cover anyway. So let's playthroughs.
Yeah.
So I think we are up to the main
ready.
event.
All right.
For Gary's.
Don't pop it up there just yet. Let me preface some things here.
Let me make it big.
All right. So it's we're coming up on March Madness, and I'm a huge basketball fan, right? I was watching basketball right before we came on. I was watching my team. And so I started thinking about, I always think it's interesting about the discussions of, okay, what year had the better games, right? Now this, because I feel like the last few years, oh no, 2023, that was a dominant year. 2023, it was a dominant year. 2020 was a dominant year. And I'm sitting here like, no, it wasn't, I mean, I'm on record as saying 2023 was a decent year. I don't think it was a great year. I think there are a lot of games that everybody loved. And if you love them, great. If you love them, I just think they're forgettable, because I think when we start pulling this up, like, oh yeah, I forgot about that game, but it was still a good game. Now so what I did is I made a bracket. I made a 64 team game bracket. All right. But I didn't include 2023 because I don't think a lot of people still probably have played a lot of the 2023 better games. I haven't, right? So what I did is I made 4 divisions: the 2019, the 2020, the 2021, and the 2022 division. And here's how I did it. And if you don't like it, well, pound sand, right? You got to deal with it. You just got to deal with it.
Well, that's not how you really feel.
It's my game, right? Anyway, so in the 2019, so what I did in each bracket is I went to BGG and I looked at like the top 16 games of each of those years. Now, some of those, like there was 2 years, one had The Crew, and then a couple of years later, you had The Crew, the Deep Sea one. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I just went with the very first.
There's a bubble.
What is that? I don't know how's that happening. Oh,
Somebody gave you a thumbs up.
You gotta be Anthony.
I didn't do it.
I
didn't even touch the mouse.
That's cool. That's cool. Wait, is it me? So I just put like one The Crew in there. So when it comes up, just
I think anytime he says
whichever crew you do that. Is it what?
Really? Say like.
Oh no.
No, I didn't
Can't figure it out. Sorry.
It must be a word I'm saying. I don't know. Also, like in 1 year, it was there. I can't remember if I put in like Frosthaven or not. I can't remember if I did or not. But it's like I don't know if I really played that. I didn't really add a lot of the campaign games in. There's a couple in there.
Yeah.
I kind of went with games that most people, especially our audience, probably would have been playing. Okay, so that's kind of how I did this. Also, in each division. So it's like I got them ranked. There's 16 teams, 16 games. The top 4 games in each division. So in the 2019 division, the top 4 games are the top 4 2019 games. And I filled the rest of that bracket with 2020 games, 2021 games, and 2022 games. So there's equal amount. All right. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to see so basically what I'm seeing is, first off, we'll just see out of those 4 divisions, what's the best game to come out of those 4 years. Also, we'll see if the top 4 teams in each division of that year, the top 4 games of that, I keep saying teams, top 4 games of that division actually is strong enough to beat out all the other ones, right? Of the years. So, all right, go ahead. You can pull it up.
Ready to see some upsets. Let's go.
So here it is. All right. So let's see here. All right. I wonder if I can zoom in on this a little bit. Yeah. All right. So here is the 2019 division. Now here's also what I'm going to do. I actually made a survey and I'll post it here shortly. And maybe we can pin it in the comments afterwards because I want people to go on and vote. Okay. And then when we come back in the next show, we'll see what's going on. And hopefully maybe around April, we'll have this all done, like kind of around March Madness tournament time. So
yes.
Yeah. So you're going to be voting on 32 games games basically in this first survey. And I'll pop that up there here shortly. And then you all can get on this vote and send it in. So, all right. So here's the 2019 division. So the top 4 games were Clank Legacy was number 1. And these are ranked just like in March Madness type stuff.
Okay.
So Clank was the number 1 game or number 1 team. Wingspan is the number 2. So actually, Clank Legacy actually beats out Wingspan right now in the rankings. Okay. The number 3 game is Barrage, and the number 4 game is the Marvel Champions. So you got so I got Clank Legacy, the number 1 game in 2019, going up against the number 16 game of 2020, My City. So you see, that's how I did this. I actually matched them up the way they would be matched up in like a tournament style. The 8-9 game is Search for Planet X versus Endless Winter. I forget. See, the next one is it's On Mars versus Teletum. Then you got the number 4 going up against the number 13 Marvel Champions versus Red Cathedral. Now, this is the only Terraforming Mars I put in because there's so many Terraforming Mars. But I put this one in because this is a big one. This was a big game. All right. Yeah. So you had Terraforming Mars, Ares Expedition up against Viscounts of the West Kingdom. By the way, Garfield has they're like the hot conference. They have like 3, maybe 4 games in this whole thing. So they've been doing well. It'll be interesting to see how far they go.
Hot conference.
Here's Barrage over against. So this is number 3 game going up against number 3 would be going up against number 14. So Clover. I would pick So Clover because I don't like Barrage. But I think Barrage actually might go fairly far here. We'll see. Next up, Wonderland's War versus Bitoku. And then Wingspan up against Cat in the Box. Now, Cat in the Box is an old game, but they brought out that deluxe version 2 years ago, and it was huge. So that's why I put that in here. Even though it's an older game, no one really knew about it until 2022. So I left that game in there. So quick thoughts. Any upsets you might see in there? Any interesting games off the top?
I have a bunch of thoughts on
that. Yeah, don't give too many thoughts.
I feel like I could be clear. I'm not going to say anything though.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a couple of landslide wins here.
Yeah. Oh, there's going to be some landslide wins, but the top of this bracket's kind of strong. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out of that.
That's definitely the stronger side.
We might see a number 1 go down fairly early there in that one. So, but we'll see. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's 2019. Let's go over to 2020. Number 1 team is Dune Imperium going against number 16 Boone Lake. Allie, what's going on?
That's a tough one.
I vote Boone Lake.
I know what Allie's
easily.
Picking.
Yeah.
That could be the first. That could be a 16 seed up. That could be the Cinderella story right there.
I feel like I'm in the minority there. Most people
I don't know.
like Dune Imperium better.
I don't know. Not on this channel.
Yeah, Boone Lake's a strong. Next one, Lake. Meadow. This is the 8-9 game. Meadow over Tainted Grail. So interesting.
I know what Vanessa and I'll pick.
Honestly, I feel like Meadow would be more popular because it's definitely more approachable than Tainted Grail. I mean, that's like that's a massive game.
But
it had a bad rule book. I mean, that's a lifestyle game. For sure.
It is, but I could see Tainted. That's why I said I didn't keep a lot of campaign games in, but this is one because it is huge and a lot of people do play it.
Yeah.
I could see this one coming strong further out, but we'll see. We'll see what our people are watching this video. Let's see what they think. Next up, Final Girl. Just include all the Final Girls. I know there's like 700 of them.
Yeah.
So just over Plank going up against Scout, which still very popular game. The number 4 is in 2020 is Lost Ruins of Arnak. I thought it'd be a little bit higher than that, but it's going up against Destinies.
That's
gonna crush it.
Crush Destinies, man.
I need to make a correction.
Destinies was the worst.
Can't be having
Destinies was like the funniest game to pull out of the box.
Destinies.
Because the minis were like
Destinies.
this. Remember that? They were
We haven't
like,
played a game. We just go for the one we like more, or what?
It's just one you like more. Now, there's probably
If we
games
haven't
here.
played it.
There's probably games you haven't played, but you know what? Here's what I'll say. There might be a game. You know what? I'd rather play that one first. So you know what? Go ahead. And,
which one would you want to play?
Surveys are always skewed, anyways. So
Gotcha.
decide how you want to go. Don't overthink it. Have a little fun with this. All right. The next one is Planet Unknown. Over Oath.
Oath, yeah.
Solid game.
So I'm not a big Oath guy.
Planet
But,
Unknown's winning
which
that
basically
one.
is a coin game, by the way. I think Eclipse Second Dawn is the number 3 game, and they're going up against Flamecraft. I find that interesting. So
Flamecraft is pretty fun.
Yeah, Flamecraft is a good game. This is going to be interesting right here. Cthulhu Death May Die, and just include whatever you've played of it, against Return to Dark Tower.
This may be the category that nobody cares about.
Yeah, right.
Have you ever played
Right
Cthulhu
there.
Death May Die?
No.
It is a blast.
Oh, really?
Absolutely, you guys actually would. It's fun. I mean,
Anthony hates Cthulhu.
I do too. I do too. But this is the one. This is the one I'll play. I mean, you get stronger by becoming more insane. But if you become more insane,
I think it's cool.
You could die, and if anybody in your team dies, you're dead. It's over. So,
okay.
Right.
Yeah,
I would try it.
Yeah, you would. It's super easy.
I tried before I played Return to the Dark Tower. I'll tell you that.
Same for me. And then the number 2 team or game is Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. I left that one. That's what I left in because that's.
I heard Res Arcana is pretty good. Is that a good game?
I never played it. I always hear mixed, but the people that like it do like it. So I think it even has a expansion now too. I think.
Yeah. I'm just tired of Gloomhaven. So
yeah, exactly. Okay. Any interesting ones there you guys like, or yes, no comments?
Scouts going all the way.
I just think there's
Scouts going all the way.
Scout and Final Girl.
Popular.
I know.
Interesting.
All right.
I don't like the matchup Scout has.
Let's get down to the 2021. This is a strong bracket, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I can see
All right.
that.
So number 1 is Arc Nova going up against Wayfarers.
Yeah.
That's 2 heavy hitters right there.
Oh,
I think Arc Nova wins that one.
think
by
Yeah,
far.
Arc Nova's gonna win for sure.
I think
it's
so,
Arc
too.
Nova.
Arc Nova is tough. Blood on
looking
the
at
Clock
them on
Tower.
here,
I did
yeah.
not play that game, and I didn't play Dwellings of Everdale, but I would
play that.
if I had to pick.
Dwellings is pretty good.
Dwellings is good.
Dwellings is pretty
I
good.
love Dwellings and I love Blood on the
Isn't
Clock
it
Tower.
so
So
nice?
that's a tough
Yeah.
matchup.
Well, the Clock Tower is like a group game, though, right?
Yeah, you gotta have
Social
good
deduction,
rules.
yeah.
You don't,
Yeah.
if you need the group for it, yeah.
Yeah, I got some people in my gaming group that are like absolutely obsessed with it. They keep trying to get me to play, and I'm just like, no, I don't like social.
Well, it's
deduction,
long too,
sorry.
isn't it?
It is.
If
It's
you-
like
Can be
You have a
long.
good
2 hours.
group.
It could be up to 2 hours long, and I'm like, that is way too long for me to play social deduction. I would
Yeah.
lose interest
Yeah.
immediately. Like 20 minutes in, I'd be like, okay, I'm done. I don't care who's whoever. I'm done.
Oh, that's interesting. Hadrian's Wall up against Turing Machine.
Yeah, well, yeah. So above that, first we do Revive
Right.
against Unmatched, and it could be any of the Unmatched. The one that came out in 2020 was Cobble and Fog, which is one of the more popular ones. But Unmatched is fun. The Tales to Amaze cooperative version that came out is really fun. I really enjoy it. So that'll be a good match. Although I think I know what I would pick anyways on that one. But
Revive.
yes, Revive. It's such a good game. Hadrian's Wall versus Turing Machine, like you said. Now, I never played Turing Machine, but I'll be interested to see how this one how this one
It's a
goes.
good one. Allie and I played
Yeah.
it at AAG Con, and it's really the thing is it's just not comparable to Hadrian's Wall at all. So like to have the two of them go
No.
against each other, it's really hard. But it's like it's a deduction game as well, but you're trying to figure out like a passcode basically
Right.
Yeah.
using clues, and it's really, really interesting. We killed it.
Turing Machine's an interesting one. I think I would like it a lot like in person, but I played it a bit on Board Game Arena after we got back from AAG.
Oh, okay.
And if you play it like not real time, so if you play it async on
Yeah.
Board Game Arena, you basically have an unlimited amount of time where you've got like a day to look at it.
Yeah.
So people game it. Like they literally will go through and test like every combination, and they'll get the right passcode without testing anything.
Right.
I didn't like that. So I would only play it real time. But yeah, it's an interesting deduction game.
All right. Moving on, the third Garfield game, Paladins of the West Kingdom. I didn't realize Wayfarers and Paladins both came out in 2021. So going up against
interesting.
I swear I played Paladins.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. No, Paladins came out.
That's 19
in 2019.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I was going to say I played Paladins one time, and that was a while ago.
Yeah. And that's a good game too. I really enjoyed that one. Over Long Shot the Dice game, which is awesome. I love Long Shot the Dice game.
Interesting.
What is that? Is that a betting game?
It's basically a roll and write. But you got the little horses. It's a race game.
A horse racing game.
You get cards. Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah, think of like Ready Set Bet, but with roll and write. I disliked it immensely. Sorry.
Which one? Ready Set Bet or Long Shot or both?
Both of them.
Oh wow.
I didn't like either of them.
I love Ready Set. I
do too. Next up, Sleeping Gods up against Cartographers.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Then Beyond the Sun up against Lord of the Rings. Journey
of that one I don't have a lot of problems with.
Yeah.
Which one?
That one. I think they're both good.
They're both really good. Yeah.
And then Cascadia and Nidavellir.
Cascadia is going to kill it.
Yeah. I like both of them, but Cascadia is like no match for me.
Cascadia is so good.
I don't know. Cascadia is still in shrink, so
I'm trying.
That's a travesty.
What?
I don't know. Beyond the Sun is really good. I just don't know if enough people have played it.
It's amazing.
It's such a good game.
It's an amazing
great game. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. All right. So let me go up here a little bit now to the last bracket, 2022. Number one game, Heat, going up against Watergate from 2019.
That's a weird matchup.
That is a weird matchup, but I like it.
I know what I'd pick.
Yeah.
I know which one I would pick of this one. We got the crew. Yeah. So whichever crew you like, they're basically the same. Yeah. Against Ankh, Gods of Egypt.
I thought Ankh was hot garbage.
That's where my copy's at, but no, I'm just I didn't even back it. Yeah, I would. I know what I would be picking on that one. So
yeah.
Then we got
Maracaibo.
That's right. This is Francis' most favorite game ever made. Because she gets to stop at every island.
It's not bad.
She gets to shop at every island. Well,
it's my little vacation.
While Anthony and I are zooming around.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go, Francis. Get your boat and let's go.
I feel like I'm in Target when I play that game with him. It's like shopping with him in Target.
Right to electronics and right out.
Going up against Mind Management, which is a good game. I like Sniper Elite better, but Mind Management's good. Splendor Duel, fantastic game. My daughter loves playing that and literally beats me like every single time. And I get really upset about that. But going up against Park, so that's a good matchup.
That is interesting.
Game.
That's a good matchup. Yeah. How it worked out. Kanban EV up against Isle of Cats. I haven't played either, but I would pick Kanban. If it's, I'm done with cat games. I'm just saying it right now. I don't care. I don't care if it's Heat, Pedal of the Cats. Right? I am not playing it. Period.
Yeah, but that was in 2019.
Yes, 2019. Right? Yeah, going up to 2020 game.
Would you have played a cat game in 2019?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've never played Isle of Cats. I'm trying to think if I've played any cat games. No.
Yeah, that ship is sailed.
Yeah.
That ship is sailed.
Dog games are the new thing.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
And listening to Vanessa's most anticipated, he had Stoneshire, Ravenshire, so I guess it's the Shire games. I was like,
no, it's Stone Spine Arc. It's Stone Spine.
Oh, Spine. I thought it said Shire. Oh, okay.
No, Stone Spine.
I was waiting for Cones of Dunshire to be your third pick.
I thought we're in the age of mushroom games right now.
Yeah, we're in the age
of mushrooms.
And mushrooms and gardens.
The fungus among us.
And a game has to have like even or fall in it or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
And which.
Or ever. ever
Forever.
even. Yeah.
We got Carnegie, or as Brandon would say, Carnegie.
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 He does say Carnegie. It's Carnegie.
Carnegie. Up against Paleo. That's it. That's
that's
I like
interesting.
Paleo. Paleo's a good game. Radlands up against Praga Kaput Regni.
Ooh.
Yeah. And a lot of people like Radlands. I know that.
Radlands is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, the
Man, I
number
love
2
Praga.
game in 2022 was Oathsworn. It's another campaign game. Left it in because that's actually one I actually wouldn't mind trying.
I would like to try that too.
And Cubidos. I never played Cubidos, but I know a lot of people have played that. So
interesting.
Okay.
that's an interesting thing there. Yeah.
I like the bracket.
So let me
play more games.
Yeah, right.
I like looking at this. I'm like, well, I thought I played a lot of games.
Yeah, same.
So let me. I'm going to put this in a chat, and maybe somebody can. I'm going to put this survey in the chat. Oh, I was hoping it would.
So how do we vote?
I'm gonna share it too.
Yeah.
Vote offline, and then we will get the
Yeah,
results.
you can vote offline. Did that in the chat? Did that pop up? So you guys, or do you?
I see nothing in the chat.
I don't see anything in the chat.
It may come up in a minute. I just put it in there. Let's see here. And I'll put it here in the stream
Comment
chat as well.
Oh, you put it in the YouTube chat?
I put it in the YouTube chat. There you go.
Okay.
Maybe you could put that and pin that.
Yeah.
I'll put it in our comments section here.
And then put it on the
Can one of you click on it, just see if it there you go. Perfect. Yeah.
I've seen it now.
If could somebody like in the chat just click on that just to make sure it takes you there. That would be great before so I know that it's working.
And now to Gary's escort service.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working for me.
Oh wait, that was the wrong link.
Yeah, it's working for me.
It is?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Cool.
It works.
So get in there, have some fun.
Awesome. Ooh, so excited.
I'll leave it open for at least a couple weeks. So we'll probably do one maybe in 2 weeks.
And let other folks who don't catch this live see it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So when this stream is over, if we could just make it the first comment, and if you could pin it.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that way, so if you're watching this, later on, it's in the comments. Click on it, vote. That way, we get some more votes in there and kind of see what's going on. And it'll be interesting to see which year is the better year, which game.
Yeah.
Which game, ends up winning this whole thing. I thought that'd be kind of interesting. And what I might do is I could probably set up some sort of a scoring system, kind of like, we can do brackets, and that way we can kind of see, obviously there'll only be two years or 2 games they're going to play against each other, but maybe 1 year still went pretty far. They just kind of faltered at the end, but they scored a lot of points. So there'll be a couple of different ways to do this, and we'll just see which year is better. I think if I had to pick, man, that 2019 year was pretty strong.
I'm telling you, 2019 was a good
year. Was a good year.
Yeah.
That was like the pre-COVID year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it broke the world.
It broke.
Was the survey just the first round, and then
the survey is just the first round. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're going to come back
bracket later. Okay.
Right, and we'll reveal.
Okay. Cool.
And we'll talk about all the winners.
Talk about all the winners. And how, if you like the game and it lost, we talk bad about it, right? And we're
gonna trash it. So Gary, you can't share with anybody the results of this.
No. I won't be sharing anything. No. When we do the next into the Nexus, will be the first time anybody sees any of this. So
nice.
Let's
hope then. So we'll give them. Let's just look to give 2 weeks from today.
We'll give 2 weeks. Yeah.
For our next.
Then I'll shut her down. And when I shut it down, I'll make a comment in the comments saying it's shut down. So, but and then we'll be able to do it for the next one too. And then I was thinking, once we get closer to like the Elite 8 and the Final 4, hey, we'll do it live, just like
Yeah, we'll do it live. Yeah.
We'll do it live.
And we can, because it'll be easier. You guys can do the poll right there through your StreamYard, and we'll just do polls, and we'll just do it there. So tell your friends, tell your families, tell your other friend gamers, and then we'll get in there, get about 100 people, and we'll do it live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this is
Nice.
awesome.
I
Man.
love
Maybe
it.
wear
Thanks,
some,
Gary.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm gonna be
You're
wearing
gonna wear
gamer.
swag. Yeah.
Go
Gamer
gamers.
swag.
Yeah.
Go board
Oh,
games.
there's only one big game for me this week coming up, so
Oh, he's a Niners
I'm a Niner fan.
Oh,
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I don't
Yeah,
care
this
who
is
wins
big.
or loses.
He was so excited.
Yeah, I almost had a heart attack at the playoffs, man. It was
In
just
the Raiders Stadium.
Well, we were filming a game
Oh yeah.
while the Niners game was on last week. And so I forget what
I had it up on my phone.
He had
had
his
the
phone
NFL.
up. And he's
Yeah,
like,
checking.
he almost like paused the camera. He's like, hold on a second.
I gotta
He's
watch
like,
this.
You're not gonna believe this.
I'm like,
They just took the game.
Like,
I was like, you're kidding.
we're filming the playthrough, and I'm like, it was just hit halftime, and the Niners were like done. Like it was like they were down by like almost 3 scores, and I'm just like, there's no way. I'm like, they haven't played a game yet. Like they haven't even showed up yet, and like they're already losing the game at halftime. So we're just filming, and I keep peeking down on my phone at the score, and I'm like, what is going on, man? All of a sudden, it's like because they scored twice in like 5 seconds,
real fast. Yeah,
it was like crazy, and I was like, they just tied the game. And I had to pause the video. We had to talk about it for like 5 minutes before we could.
So we
finish
watched the
filming.
whole thing like in syndication afterwards.
Yeah, literally after we finished filming, we went upstairs and I like replayed the entire second half, and I was just like, I gotta watch every bit of this. It was amazing.
Nice.
So
So
it was
funny.
very stressful, but cool. Look, this was phenomenal, Gary. Thank you for putting that together, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun for the
no
next couple
problem.
weeks.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of fun.
And,
We'll share the link out.
Yep. So I think I think we'll end on that and give people a chance to get in there. I'm sure they're already filling out the surveys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's chatting anymore. They should be filling out their surveys. So
That's it.
Yeah.
But look, thank you all, and what a great session tonight, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
All right.
have a
Thanks,
good one.
everybody.
Thank you.